Hello everybody. Today I did this part and this part. I don't know if you can see. It didn't streak very badly, but we did have a lot more drips. The sun's not really on our side, but I think it is visible in the camcorder. I just realized I have to clean the screen of my camcorder. It's so gunked up I can barely see. I don't know whether I'm starting to, well, I mean, I did have drips, but I don't know whether I did a little better with overlapping than, maybe I'm starting to at least get the hang of that to not cause the streaks, or whether this was always kind of easy to do. There's just some parts that are easy to do than others. I did have a problem for some reason with the newspaper adhering to the door. This part was already done. I don't know why this happened. So now I've got a little bit of newspaper adhering to the car. Hopefully I'll be able to get it off without much scratching. So Selena now is nearly done. The only thing that we have left to do is the driver's side door and the area up here. One problem we have noticed, the dripping was really bad on this side. I came out really early in the morning. What's happening is that it's becoming, well, technically we're still in spring, but we're starting to get what was like summer weather for us, and the humidity is really going up and the heat is going up, and actually in the afternoon it's usually too hot and too humid to actually paint. So it's above the temperature that they claim you shouldn't do. So I came out really early in the morning, but of course in the morning there's dew and it's a little, there's moisture and all that, and that might be why it dripped. But I have to admit, if I have to choose between drips or streaking, the drips are actually a little more, not as, I don't find as, as unattractive as the streaks. I'm going to have to buy one more can of clear coat to be able to finish the job. One disadvantage to the way, I have to admit, by hand painting your car, is it does attract a lot of unwanted attention. Now, we were kind of used to people kind of coming up and looking at Selena and making comments and all that. But what's a little more disturbing is I'm not sure if it doesn't increase her chances of possibly getting stolen. There's been at least 2 or 3 times when my mom's came out and she's actually seen somebody in the car run away or something. Or or evidence that it seems like maybe they're trying to get inside the car. Fortunately, Mitsubishis do have some anti-theft protection, so maybe they don't make it easy for people. I have to admit, I'm always puzzled by the reaction, because as I said, it was not like Selena was really ever a popular model car. It's not like she's a Honda Civic, which is very popular, at least in my area. But, or, a Lexus or a Camry, the cars that tend to be a lot more popular. And I'm always kind of surprised that, they're going after a car that's, obviously a lot older. The only theory we can think of is that they're assuming that it's obvious she's hand-painted. And the only thing I can think of is that they're thinking that possibly if somebody's going to that much trouble, that maybe the car has some stuff that's worth their while, like maybe the person's also going to put in a very expensive speaker system, or I don't know, something like that. So maybe that's why suddenly, It's also possible, too, we've suddenly found a lot more Mitsubishis on the road. It's also possible that they want parts. Maybe they have a Mitsubishi and they're looking for parts. because, you know, as I said, Mitsubishis are well, Mitsubishi Mirages are no longer made. Of course, Mitsubishi's still around. It has other cars that are probably, you know, they put out other cars like the Galant and the, is it the Spider or the Eclipse, or I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot of, you know, other brands of, you know, cars of Mitsubishi. And so maybe but this particular model had been put out, is no longer produced. But, you know, of course there's still Mitsubishis around, you know, Mirages around. Though I don't know why they have to exactly, you know, the Lancer was what replaced the Mirage, and if I believe that despite the whatever outer differences there is between the Lancer and the Mirage, I believe their insides are pretty much the same. So, you know, it seems to me, I don't know why they have to go after my car, or my mom's car rather. But you can notice I'm getting a little more possessive since I've been painting her. So that is, you know, I don't know, you know, I don't know if this would happen to everybody. Unfortunately, we've always been people have always wanted to go after our stuff anyway. You know, we're just, you know, I don't think my family goes around gloating or anything or flashing off what we have, you know. But I don't know, there's just some people that in the world that people always, you know, envy what they have, you know, and it's always kind of funny because, you know, a lot of times people have, you know, have newer cars, they have more expensive cars, or any other type of possession, they have better televisions and all that, and yet somehow my stuff always looks better to them. So I don't know, I don't really know what's going on, what the thought process is, but I thought it's worth mentioning, you know. There's a lot of things you have to take into consideration when you if you decide to take on a project like this, and unwanted attention may be one of them that you have to consider.